Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the topic of the truth about conspiracy theories. So, for this video, I'm going to discuss the truth about conspiracy theories when it comes to why they become so widespread. Everything from coal mining is fake and so on and so forth. In a simple and straightforward way, so anyone can understand it, as well as a lesson from this as well. Okay? So now that I've mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of why conspiracy theories spread so much, it's simply due to the fact that they are prosecuted. In other words, to be more specific, people do not explain things to them, they just simply ridicule it. Okay? Which the truth of the matter is, this right here is a perfect example of what happens when people do not treat other people well, let alone when people are willing to help other people. Okay? Which, even though when it comes to the conspiracy theories about the Illuminati, I'm not saying I believe them, but there is some pretty fishy evidence to kind of indicate that yes, they're probably maybe Illuminati. So I'm not even getting into that one, okay? Because there's some pretty solid evidence to show that it may be true. Not saying it's true, okay? But I'm saying there is some pretty solid evidence. We're not talking about things like that. We're talking about the more ridiculous, like it could be everything from, Donald Trump's gonna save the world, which was something QAnon many years ago were saying, and all the other ones about this person being the Antichrist and so on and so forth, things like that. And even the idea that the world's being controlled by reptilian aliens from the planet, Nibiru or something like that, and just ones that are very dangerous. It's a case of, it's not even a case of, let's just laugh at this. It's a case of you're accusing someone of doing something that might make somebody do something. Like you might accuse somebody of a pedophile, all that type of shit, okay? That's what I'm talking about here when it comes to conspiracy theories. Illuminati was fake and all that type of stuff, okay? It's the random conspiracy theories. Not conspiracy theories in general as a whole, but a lot of them, simply put it, are bullshit, okay? And the truth of the matter is, they don't really go away, because the truth of the matter is, a lot of people just ridicule and make fun of the people who believe in this stuff in their face. Which the truth of the matter is, when has that ever worked in human history? Okay, let's get to this point before we explain why you should explain this. Okay, but first and foremost, like I was getting at, when has that ever worked? When has ever criticizing and ridiculing someone for having different beliefs ever worked in history? Okay, all it really does when you look at the history of all the major religions, which had that exact experiences to different ideologies throughout the thousands of years of history. You can even look it up. All the prosecution did was not only make it more likely that the people would believe in it harder, it also made people stronger, which means they can do even more negativity and not let it get to them, and it even helped give them free promo, just like Christianity. At one point I was ridiculed and prosecuted and hated, and now look at it today. It's the world's biggest religion. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So when has that ever really worked, okay? When has ever prosecuting and ridiculing someone for having beliefs ever worked ever in human history, okay? It never has, and it never will. And when it comes to, of course, the other point I want to get across here, point two, the truth about it is that if you have people, okay, and this is how life works, okay, you have people who have questions, okay, don't ridicule them for believing certain things. Speak to them, okay? Speak to them about their beliefs, okay? Just like if somebody believes the world's being controlled by reptilians, why don't you just explain to them why that's not true? explain to them in a logical way why that's not true. Because the truth of the matter is, okay, I'm gonna be upfront with you. If aliens actually were controlling the world, would they even have to have these secret societies that they've been plotting to take over the world for anywhere from hundreds of thousands of years, which according to these conspiracy theories that they have been doing, you know, with how divided humans are in the first place, and of course with the technology, they could have conquered us in like a day, you know, and it doesn't take much for us humans to turn on each other. We don't even like each other, and for that matter, how are we gonna fight against something that now has unity but has advanced technology? It wouldn't make any sense. So that one itself is stupid. But that right there is an example of questioning thoughts people get when people get negative thoughts, okay? Because when you actually put in effort to challenging things, to opening up people's minds, okay, it makes it less likely you'll have people who believe all these silly things, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, when you explain things to people in a logical way, and not just a logical way, but a nice, kind way, it opens up their mind. And not just opens up their mind, it makes them actually maybe start thinking, you know what, maybe what I'm thinking is actually not true. How does that make any sense? And that's how you do things in life, okay? Which people don't seem to do. And this is the important lesson that there is to learn about conspiracy theories. When people have questions, you answer it. Don't just prosecute and make them angry for believing those things. Just like look at how well it's been going for this war on terror. It is not improved. They're still having the same discussion they were having in the 2000s, right after 9/11 happened, because a lot of people, to put it bluntly, were not willing to sit down with these young, obviously angry, disenfranchised Muslim youth and speak to them and say, this belief system you have is incorrect. You know, they weren't willing to do that. And when they tried to do it many decades ago, they had discussions about having rehabilitation places for people who are terrorists and stuff. The conservatives, of course, the masters of ruining everything, just simply said you don't negotiate with terrorists, which is so dumb. Okay? And that is the honest truth. What I'm trying to get across in this video is when you have people who are angry, the best way to do it is to speak to them and make them realize what they're believing is incorrect. Okay? Whether it could be those Muslim terrorists who believe, you know, we're gonna, you know, make the world a better place by fighting against the evil European elite or something, or people of any ideology. Maybe even another example militant groups or something who say let's overthrow the government, this and that, you know, like America or something, or just anything for that matter. You speak to them. You speak to them to help change their opinion and their views. Just shouting and screaming in their face, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're gonna stop believing this crap, doesn't do anything. All it does is fill them up with more hate, and hate produces hate. You know, not all the time, but usually it does, especially in the modern world. Okay, you hit me first, I hit you back, you know, but you accidentally hit someone else, and now he gets angry at you and he wants to hit you, but he hits someone else, you know, and then it just creates a cycle of hatred and hatred. And that's how you deal with the world. It's not a case of showing cowardice. It's a case of making the world a better place. And when it comes to conspiracy theories, the fact that sometimes they can be dangerous and stuff, just like the many different cults that existed in the past, you know, okay, if you don't do this in this period of time, like with our cult, you know, you're gonna die because the government is gonna kill a bunch of people and all that type of stuff in a few months or something like that, you know, stuff like that. To deal with that type of stuff when it's obviously a very serious situation, you speak to them, you logicalize, you try to spread logic to them. Just shouting and screaming in people's faces is not going to do anything, and saying, yo, you're stupid and all this stuff, you can't reason with stupid people. That's not going to do anything, okay? The truth is, you have to speak to people to change them, and that's the honest truth here. So this is not even just about conspiracy theories. This is about dealing with people who are full of hate in general as a whole, okay? For the most part, at least, okay? When you deal with people who are full of hate, you try to help them. Just simply screaming at them and talking down on them will not make anything any better for anyone, okay? And that is the truth. So anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say. And simply put it, if you like this video, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say. And simply put, I'm out. So bye.